Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Lindsay Lohan because somebody has to talk about her favorably.
Yes.
Favorably. I don't even know if we're going to talk about her favorably because a lot of people are upset. She's auctioning off an NFT of her Fursona.
What Fursona?
She has a Fursona.
Has she had a Fursona before she thought it would make her money?
No.
Oh,
And that's why the furries are mad. Furries are mad at Lindsay Lohan. And also she has a podcast coming out. And this is all probably just promotional stuff.
Get me back in the news somehow.
Yeah. Look, I'm a geek girl now. Well, I'm a kitty cat. Meow.
What? Okay, anyway, I mean, Lindsay Lohan is another example of, childhood actress who went off the deep end for a while and is now trying to come back. We've seen it a couple times. I mean, I wish her luck, but this is just weird.
Furry NFTs probably not exactly a comeback.
No, it's
She was a cute kid too. I know Pinky Boo was watching The Parent Trap a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, yeah, she actually had a lot of potential. What the hell happened?
I don't know. I think these kids get damaged. They usually have one company in common. We're not going to talk about it.
Usually one company damages them all.
So let's talk about this because I don't know what this is about. You'll have to explain it.
Oh, she's got a Netflix Christmas rom-com coming too. Wow, she is really making a huge comeback.
Hey, you know what? Go her.
Christmas movies, podcasts, furries, it's all happening.
It's all over the place. Okay, this is going to be glorious.
I just want another Herbie movie.
I did like the Herbie.
It actually wasn't bad.
It had Michael Keaton in it.
It had Michael Keaton in it. It wasn't
Keaton.
bad. Anyway, we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 236,000 subs.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you for the support. Greatly appreciate it. We do talk about Disney. I don't know if this is a daily dose of dismal Disney
what this is.
or not, or if this is life after a daily dose of
I think
dismal
that's what
Disney.
this is, but props for creativity. I can honestly say I've not heard this one before.
So the furries aren't here for Lindsay Lohan's Fursona NFT. So she tweeted earlier this week, it's official. I'm a friend of the cartel. It's the first NFT at Canine Cartel NFT. Let's see what this thing looks like.
What is this? I don't...
She took it down. So we had to go out and find an image of her Fursona because she took it down. The backlash must have been pretty severe.
I guess.
Because here's a whole article called, here's the science.
Oh, there's a science.
Behind why the furries hate it.
There's got to be something going on because I got to tell you, this is the weirdest story I've heard this week.
So anyway, let's talk about what's going on with her. And then
Please
we'll
confused.
go out to the science.
Okay.
So Lindsay Lohan had a busy year for someone who hasn't been on screen in a while. She released some new music.
Never did nothing about it.
She's going to star in a Netflix Christmas rom-com.
Who hasn't?
And she has a Fursona now.
Okay.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Okay, so she teamed up with the Canine Cartel. You're a badger. Honey badger.
With nipples.
Okay.
6 nipples.
Is that what you called tits?
I am called tits. That's my Fursona.
But squared.
Squared. Tits squared.
Because it would be, if you had 6 nipples, would it be, it would be tits squared.
Yeah. You math it
No,
out.
that's 9. Never mind. I don't know how to math person.
Neon 9 Tits. That's my new name. That's my D&D name, by the way. Neon of the 9 Tits. I'm a level 18 dwarven fighter named Neon 9 Tits.
There you go. Okay, so she teamed up.
I had them everywhere, and I do mean everywhere. They all work too.
You're gonna make me pee, so just stop.
They all work.
She did it with the canine.
I don't pee. I lactate often. Let's go back to this. Are you okay?
Go ahead and read it. I'm done.
She teamed up with Canine Cartel, an NFT project that features a pack of 10,000 of the craziest mutts to ever run these streets. Collectible dog avatars.
Okay.
The Mean Girl star tweeted earlier this week, it's official. I'm a friend of the cartel. Yeah. Well, it got taken down. Just a reminder. This is it. This is what people hate. All right.
I'm not understanding, but
you've got a chance to own it. 72 hours. You can own her NFT, which is, I've done videos on NFT. You do understand NFT. It's
yes, I know what an NFT
like a digital original.
I'm just understanding why this whole thing. But anyway.
So her Fursona is a blue-eyed ginger Pomeranian who somehow has freckles. How many tits?
I'm a blue-eyed ginger, but I don't know what kind of dog I'd be.
The tweet quickly went viral. The current highest bid is $1,600. I think it went for $4,700. That's not a lot for Lindsay Lohan's.
No.
That's really not a lot. Reported by Rolling Stone, having a celebrity dive into furry NFTs wasn't well received by the furry community. For starters, an artist who goes by Colin Space Twinks told Dixon, that's actually their real name, Dixon, that Lohan's Fursona is too damn human for the furries' liking. It reminds me in a way of frequently insecure straight artists rendering furries, diminish and reduce furry traits so as to not commit to what you're doing. Ears covered. Why? Feels like it's avoiding animal traits on purpose. Also remarking there's nothing about Lohan's Fursona that makes her instantly recognizable despite looking so human-like. Mine, I'm a dwarven dog with 9 tits.
Do you put a little belly on it?
Put a little belly on it, yeah. Had a guy, and he was a real nice guy, but he wanted me to draw all these Disney characters, and they all had to have little pot bellies because he really, really liked the bellies.
He did.
Likes belly rubs.
It amused me greatly. Anyway, another furry who goes by Tommy the Cabot.
Tomo the
Cabot. Sorry, Tomo the Cabot, which I have to, props for the Cabot. Though.
Cabot, yes. Our cat's name is Ryoki.
He's named Ryoki, yeah, because he looks like he could be a Cabot. He also sounds like that. Also echoed Space Twink's critiques, pointing out that it's weird how there's no ears shown since furry characters have ears shown on top of the head. Well, where else would they be?
Well,
I'm just like,
you can't have ears anywhere.
Apparently. Just not in this community. Anyway.
But besides Lohan not looking enough like a furry, there's also the issue that this kind of NFT art is of lower quality than a lot of other
That's true.
Art. As Cade, a furry 3D artist, explained, a lot about the design actually seems to be made so they can quickly swap out colors and such, which makes sense given the nature of NFTs. Most of the top tier furry artists and furries at large, but not all, stand against NFTs due to the environmental impact of them.
I guess that makes sense.
Those who spoke to Rolling Stone weren't the only ones who complained, of course. There are countless quote tweets from furries who've criticized both the artwork and the decision to sell it as an NFT. Tough luck breaking into a niche internet community for profit.
Well, that's just it. That's how it feels. It really does feel like that. It's like, for whatever reason, they thought that was the way to go. That was the community to try to pander to. But they did everything wrong. They didn't obviously know the community. I'm not going to say I do either. But it seems like there's a lot of things that were there that if you had been part of that community, you would have known wasn't going to fly with these people.
Well, that's kind of what happened with webcomics, too. We talked about that. We had a lot of, professional comic book creators try to push into webcomics, and they didn't get the basics of what made it work or the kinds of comics that were going to fly. And they came in and it was like, hey there, fellow kids.
Yeah, that's kind of how it feels,
But she's trying everything. She's got a podcast.
Hey, I'll give her credit for the hustle, though.
Yeah.
100% on the hustle.
So other celebrities doing podcasts now, Bob Saget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did know about that.
Maybe Aunt Becky. Maybe Aunt Becky can get a podcast.
Becky's got to have her own show, spinoff of something. When Calls the Heart, they're doing a spinoff of it on Hallmark or whatever. She's getting her own show on that.
They let her out of jail for that?
She's out of jail already. She's been.
I know she was out of jail.
She's been out of jail.
Of all the 80s celebrities to go to prison, Cliff Huxtable and Aunt Becky were not the two I thought I would see go to prison.
Yeah, me either. But here we are.
Yeah, but here we are, and Lindsay Lohan coming back as a furry is definitely not something
I never saw that one coming.
So anyway, this is coming from thestranger.com.
Yeah, so what's the science behind this?
What's the science? So they talked about how it sold for $4,700.
Okay.
I would have bought Lindsay Lohan's Fursona.
No.
No? You wouldn't have?
Mm-mm.
But then we can just say, look, we own the only Lindsay Lohan bad furry art.
That's true, but I don't
just because we can.
I have lots of other things I would have used.
Or we could, give
for.
it to charity or something.
I probably would have done that.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's the problem with it? That's what I want to know. Well, furries have, for the last few decades, created and stewarded an entire culture around this artwork, and their sensitive noses can smell disaster all over this project. Well, she took it down. She took the tweet down. There are 3 or 4 big reasons why it made for the perfect storm of bad ideas, says Dr. Courtney Plant, an associate professor of psychology at Bishop's University and co-founder of Fur Science, a team of scientists who study the furry fandom.
I am learning so much today.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Neither did I. And I'm kind of torn between being excited because I think it's kind of cool, and also I don't understand what the hell's going on.
For one thing, he says, For one thing, he says, furries tend to be environmentalists, and
Makes
the
sense.
energy inefficiency of NFTs makes them particularly unattractive to the fandom. Beyond that, within the fandom, there's a taboo around the idea of creating a fursona purely for selling it off. It would be like, can I buy your name off?
Yeah, and this does scream of, I'm just doing it for money.
Yeah, basically you choose your fursona because it means something to you and there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like in my case, I really enjoy milk. So having 9 nipples, that's a lot of milk.
Okay.
That's
so why did you feed the kids?
So that they're imbued with numerous small indicators of personal significance, like jewelry or markings on the fur or multiple nipples.
Yes.
Lohan's fursona is notably lacking in that trait.
You almost said lactating, didn't you?
I almost said lactating.
I knew you were.
It's not lactating enough. That's the problem for me. And also, she's destroying the environment. And she's a poser. Basically, furries are like, she's a total poser.
That's basically what they're saying.
Being available for purchase is perhaps the most antithetical.
Antithetical. That's
quality.
A fun word. Antithetical.
It's anti-ethical, too. Plant says, but there are other indications. I'm just thinking about lactation, and I'm having a really hard time reading because all I can think about is lactation.
I wish there was a video with this one because they just see me sit with this what the fuck look the whole time, shaking my head every time you open your mouth. Anyway,
that is every day of our lives.
No, it's worse with this. It lacks ears and a tail, which is extremely unusual for canine fursona. There are no distinctive details, markings, or adornments. No artist is identified. It looks like the base body of a character creator.
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks like, hey, you too can be a furry, or like, have yourself drawn as a Simpson character. I
like this. It's sort of like if I go online and buy a cheaply made Star Trek uniform, then go to a convention like, I'm one of you guys.
Yes.
But you know what's funny though? These are all the same people that you're like, you can't tell people they don't belong to communities. You can't tell people that. You can't exclude people, but it's okay when they do it,
MTV did a documentary called Sex 2K, portrayed the furries in a particularly unflattering light. A whole lot of yiffing going on.
And a notorious episode of CSI got virtually every detail about the community wrong.
Oh, I think I remember that.
I do remember that.
Yeah. 2 decades later, furries still cite those episodes as reasons to be suspicious of mainstream culture.
Understandable.
So anyway, the company, Canine Cartel, run by a Toronto-based advertising copywriter, appears to have created its 10,000 dog images by machine. All of them share a handful of bodies mixed with a variety of randomly repeating accessories. I would have, if Lindsay Lohan had written me and said, could you draw me as a furry?
Mm-hmm.
Please, Neon, draw me as a furry. I would say yes, Lindsay.
Well, I would be surprised she'd call you when there's so many furry artists out there that are, qualified.
She's not concerned about the furry community, so she would call me.
No.
She would call me because I don't know what I'm talking about.
I would call whoever was the best furry artist.
Or she could have done it. She probably can't afford the best furry artist.
And then they could walk me through it. But then they know it was a poser right off and probably wouldn't work with me. I'm going to tell you flat out, I'm a furry poser because I know nothing about it.
Yeah,
other than the fact that I think that there's a lot of conceptions. Some correct, price a lot incorrect about furries.
Like, I really like Sonic the Hedgehog games, but there are people who really like Sonic the Hedgehog.
But a lot of them say it's not in that kind of way.
No, but there are some in that kind of way. Because if you go, like, I've gone looking for thumbnail images before for Sonic. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I have not come across Sonic with 9 nipples yet.
Are you about done with this? Because
I
am really confused. I'm very confused.
I'm going to wrap this
Mostly
up.
about you.
Yeah. It's okay. It's one of those days. Last video of the day, so gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
Please subscribe for more pop culture.
Hopefully not more of this.
News, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
And I apologize to furries. Bye.